Hi there, Andreas here with XpressPads finger drumming, and today I have the AKAI MPD232 here, and I want to show you what kind of a device it is. So for me as a finger drummer, of course, the most important section of the pad controller is the pad section, and I can tell you that this one is just fantastic. If you have seen the MPD218 review, it's the same pad section, with the difference that you can here change the pad sensitivity, but except that it's exactly the same. So you have the same thickness here, you have the same grip when you touch them, and they are just superb. Next to that you have a controller section with some rotary knobs. These are endless encoders. You have some buttons that you can assign, as well as some faders. And what I really like about it is that you have per preset you have 3 different control banks you can switch through on the fly. So when you're in the middle of a project and you need a different controller setup, you can just click those buttons and you can have a different setup of knobs and faders right on the fly, and that really gives you a lot of options to tweak sounds. Same here with the pad banks, so you can, while you're playing, you can switch through different banks, and that's really something that will speed up your workflow. Down here you see a section with 16 buttons, and those are the step sequencer buttons, and those are controlled via this section over here. So you have a sequence edit, you have a sequence on-off button, and over here you can actually just start recording something into the sequence and play it back, stop it, and yeah, those are the basic functions of the sequencer. And eventually you have a tap tempo button with which you can choose the tempo of the song you're working on. So you can also set the amount of times you have to hit this button in order to recognize the right tempo. Here you have a note repeat button, which is a feature that you can use especially for electronic music, because with a note repeat button you can also assign how many times the note, or in which division, in which time division the notes are repeated, and you choose that with these buttons over here. You have a presets selection area, so you hit the preset button. When it lights up, you can choose your presets that you have stored. On the edit area you can change some general presets for the pads or for the faders and knobs and buttons and so on. And in the global area you have some global controls that you can change, and you navigate through them via this area here. So for example, you could change the pad sections behavior. You have the pad sensitivity setting here, where you have a threshold parameter, a curve parameter, so you have 5 or 6 different curves, 2 logarithmic, 2 exponential, then you have a linear one and an S curve, and you have a pad gain parameter. But I personally like the linear setting. I like the threshold to be at 0.1, which means it's very sensitive, and I don't play with pad gain. And when you have that setting, although I'm not 100% sure here, then I think you have the same setting as on the MPD218, which you can just put on the side here, and then you could play with 2 pad controllers, which is a great setup for finger drumming, by the way. Yeah, okay, so that's basically it for this device. It also comes with a software editor, which is great. It has lots of handy features there, and I will make a video about it, a separate one, because it's too big for that small review here. But overall I would say it's a great device, great pad section, lots of features, step sequencer, and onboard control elements that you can use. So really, it's a good device.